I want to take a minute and talk about the two primary bits that I use. When I make videos, I put pictures of the bits that I use. There's two that you see that I use most often. I want to talk about those two go-to bits that I have and why those are my two go-to bits. The first one we're going to talk about, the bit that I use on some of the younger horses. It is a D-ring snaffle, stainless steel rings with a sweet iron mouthpiece with copper inlays in the back. The reason I like this particular bit with basic foundation training on young horses, this will be the bit that a horse will first learn how to carry and first learn how to ride with. I like this bit because of the D's on the side will put pressure on the opposite corners of the mouth. So if I'm pulling on this side, there'll be pressure here to help with the horse bringing his head around. You've seen in my beginning videos, I start riding off the halter where they're carrying the bit, but the reins are attached to the halter. So it's a similar feel. If I'm pulling with the left rein, the halter on the right hand side is pushing the face around. That carries through with this bit, so that when I'm pulling on the left rein, this area right here is contacting the corners of the mouth and pushing the face around. So that's one reason I like this bit. Another reason, I've had trouble in the past with these bits freezing up here. This bit has a little washer or grommet or something right in here so that it swivels easy. They don't get sticky, they stay loose. So the bit stays moving like it's supposed to. Another reason I like this particular bit, I never want to start a horse in anything more than a single jointed mouthpiece. Most of the associations that I ride in only allow a single jointed mouthpiece. They don't allow French links, they don't allow rings. AQHA is a little bit different, but the other performance groups that I show with don't allow any of that. So what I like is there's this taper here that starts right here and it tapers down to the ring. So I have a nice, I believe this is 5/16 diameter right here where it sits on the bars of the mouth, and then it tapers in towards the center. People worry about this pinching a horse's mouth. If you use a snaffle bit like it's supposed to be used to start your bending and start the horse softening its face, softening its poll, this bit is not going to pinch a horse's mouth. If you're using it incorrectly, you could. Snaffle bit, a ring snaffle, D-ring, loose ring, they're intended to primarily be used one-handed. Very basic two-handed movements as far as starting collection, starting to break and pull, but they're primarily supposed to be one-handed bits. And if you use a snaffle bit like you're supposed to, you're not going to get that pinching nutcracker effect like people complain about. The only time you're going to get that is if you're using the bit in a way other than what it's supposed to be used. So this particular one, another feature it has is these copper inlays on the insides on this sweet iron mouthpiece. That helps keep the horse's mouth soft, he salivates good, and that helps to keep our communication really good. So that is why I like this particular bit. I put a leather curb strap on it just so if I'm pulling, I don't pull the bit through the horse's mouth. If you're in a case where you are pulling it through the horse's mouth, you need to go back and soften the horse's face. So this is a little bit for safety, but if I need that safety, I've done mess something up. But I put it here just for safety's sake. So I'll put a link to this bit and the other bit that I'm about to show you, and so you can pull them up on Amazon. Neither one of these are very expensive bits, but these are my two go-to bits. The other one, I'll only keep a horse in a ring snaffle about 90 days. After about 90 days, I'm looking to transfer him out. Now I say 90 days, but there are certain movements that I want to accomplish. I wanted him to move off of my hands and get soft. I want him to start breaking at the pole. I want him to start moving his body around off of this bit. I should have that accomplished in 90 days. If it takes longer, I'll leave him in a snaffle bit longer. If he gets it done quicker, I'd move him out of the snaffle bit quicker. It's not a matter of calendar days, it's a matter of the progression of the horse. That horse should progress to a point so that he's out of this bit in 90 days. The next bit that I go to is to start elevating his shoulders, start collection, and start rounding his back, getting his hips under him. This is the go-to bit that I use for this. It doesn't have a very long shank. That's probably a 5-inch shank. Very basic ported mouthpiece. That'll give a little bit of release from tongue pressure. It's not going to be tall enough to touch the roof of most horses' mouths. This is the bit that I'll go to start collection. Notice it's not a broken mouthpiece, but it is swiveled on the sides. That way I can still use one rein and get his head to sweep around to the side, but I can start using contact with both reins to get him to lift his shoulders and engage his hip. Going to be very mild contact on the mouth. I believe this is a 5/8 or 5/16 or 3/8 diameter mouthpiece. It is also sweet iron with copper inlays on the inside. This is my next step up go-to from the snaffle bit as far as advancing the horse's training. Now, I never ride a horse more than 3 rides in a row in the same bit. I have some other bits that are kind of similar that I'll rotate in and out of, and I did a video on my full bit program. I'll put a link to it either up top or down in the comments, and I'll also put links to these 2 bits on Amazon. These are bits that I really like a lot. They're not all that expensive, and they're a good tool to get the job done that needs to get done for training the horse. So until next time, thank you for watching.